inhibitions, yeah. See all my addictions, and now they get to creeping, yeah. Nowadays feels like I'm hanging from the ceiling, noose around my neck, and it's getting tighter by the minute. Stuck in the state of mind, misery and dollar signs. Somewhere along the line, I lost myself and left behind everyone who ever cared. It's a damn shame, and now my vision's been impaired, thinking about the fame. It's so unfair, I forgot how to love. My cross to bear, now weighs a fucking ton. My body hits the ground, never see you turn around. I scream so fucking loud, do you even hear a sound? Whenever it starts to rain, baby, I can take the blame. This shit never seems to change. I'm lost and found within the pain. I'm at war with the things in my head, back and forth when you stay in my bed. I'm lost, but can you find me? What's the cost of being lonely? I'm living life so fucked up, never been the average. Giving up on love cause I'm broken and I'm damaged. Ride around drop top with a bad bitch. Said she's had enough, go can play her with the savage. Energy full throttle, yeah. Before I hit rock bottom, yeah. Keep these feelings bottled up, that's always been my problem, yeah. Fuck the world, I swear that's always been my fucking motto. Flip the switch and now I'm feeling like I'm Johnny Bravo. I'm on these bad habits, I ain't never gonna change. And all these backstabbers thinking I might go insane. And all I hear is static, lately shit's been tragic. Never ended sadness, whole feeling plastic. 4 o'clock in the morning, this shit got me zoning. I got lost in the moment. This is not a warning, please do not ignore it. Demons on me swarming. I'm lost in town within the pain. Whenever it starts to rain, baby, I can take the blame. This shit never seems to change. I'm lost and found within the pain. I'm at war with the things in my head, back and forth when you stay in my bed. I'm lost, but can you find me? What's the cost of being lonely? I'm at war with the things in my head, back and forth when you stay in my bed. I'm lost, but can you find me? What's the cost of being lonely?
The storm is coming, but I'm prepared. I'll be gone for a while, but don't be scared. Right now, I don't know if I'll ever arrive where the grass is green, we're still alive. I hope I'll see you on the other side. I know that I'll be paying for the ride into the black hole. Sing for my soul through the black hole to make myself whole again. You want the truth and you're having doubts, but if I tell you now, the sun.
Hello, so I just wanted to talk and kind of reflect back on my show. I'm a little over 1 week post show right now. The show overall I think went well. It was my first time competing in the GBO. A lot of things are very similar. The athletes meeting was a little bit different. a little bit more intimate, a lot more talking from the creator of the GBO, Bob Johnson. He's definitely promoting that this organization is growing. It might not be as big here where I live in Colorado or some of the other states, but in Texas, Louisiana, Florida, it's pretty big, and it's also pretty big internationally. You know, they just expanded to Mexico, Colombia, and a bunch of other countries, so that's pretty interesting to me. What's also interesting is they said that, you know, once you get your pro card status in this league, you can go compete anywhere internationally, which I think is pretty awesome because I would like to do that at some point. Reflecting back on how I actually did in this competition, I was pretty happy with how I looked. I went out to Vegas the Wednesday before the show, trying to give my body enough time to acclimate just in case I was holding water. I wanted enough time for my body to be able to drain that out. So Wednesday I looked pretty good. Thursday I looked great. I was pretty dry. You could see lines in my legs. You could see distinction in my abs. I'll put a picture in so you can kind of see what I looked like on Thursday. And then Friday, I was still looking pretty good. Got my tan and I was looking okay, so my coach recommended we went and we got In-N-Out burgers. He was saying that when you're carb depleted like I was and pretty totally depleted, that the fat would help tighten me up and the carbs would help start to kind of load into the muscles so they look a little bit fuller. After that, he recommended some wine, and he also said that the wine was supposed to help bring me in, dry me out a little bit more. And then we also got 2 cupcakes, which was pretty awesome. Again, more carbs to start the carb up process. The next morning, I started looking a little bit more watery, so we started trying to get some carbs in me to see if that would help. During the whole pump up process and even on stage, you could see my body slowly starting to hold on water and to slowly start getting watery. I was sweating on stage. Typically you shouldn't be sweating too much, I think, because you're so dry. Needless to say, when I got onto the stage, you know, it was pretty exciting, it was fun. I thought for sure that I'd be almost number 1 or 2. I ended up getting 2nd place, which I'm pretty happy with overall. Pretty disappointing to not get 1st, obviously. I didn't get my pro card, which is what I really wanted. So what's nice about the GBO is you get assigned a judge, and that judge gives you feedback immediately after the show. There was an intermission point between the show, and the judge actually wanted to come talk to me, and he let me know that I had everybody else be on my symmetry, my muscularity, my presentation. The one downfall that I had was my dryness, which I pretty much knew. You know, I could slowly start seeing my body changing to become more watery throughout the show, and even between the day show, the night show, you could tell there was a huge difference in how my body looked. Another point I want to make is that a lot of the people tanning backstage, some of the people back there hosting the show, the people behind the stage kind of directing everybody, and even the judges were shocked that I wasn't doing the shape category. So shape is like the NPC wellness category. It's kind of in between bikini and figure. They said that I had the perfect body for shape. They were shocked, and if I would have done shaped, I would have killed everybody out there. It's kind of hard for me. I always see myself more as a figure competitor. I like the muscularity, I like the leanness, and I eventually saw myself going into physique. That was my ultimate goal when I kind of started all this. So now I'm just kind of having to reflect back and see what I want to do as far as my body for competition. Do I want to enter the shape category where I know I can do really well, or do I stay in figure? I don't know. It's pending. I don't really know what I was gonna say. The prep overall was pretty good. It got kind of hard for me. I have a lot of things going on, personally. I've got a ton of responsibility on my shoulders at work. I'm pretty much running my program right now. So there's a lot falling on my shoulders. There's not enough time to get everything done. The second place kind of made me have to reflect back on my own efforts and what I invested in this prep. I feel like at the beginning, the fire's lit for everybody, especially for me. I was ready to compete. But then the last month or so, it got pretty difficult for me to balance, prep, work, personal life. I just felt like I didn't have time. I felt like I was trying to rush through everything to fit everything in. I lost that intention that I had initially said that I wanted to keep throughout this prep. The last month, I think I kind of became stagnant and I wasn't willing to push myself any further than I already was because, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm this, I'm that. And those are just excuses. I hate excuses. I think they're bullshit. So the second place wasn't necessarily surprising to me. I'm happy I got second, but I don't think I would have earned that first with the effort that I put in, especially that last month. So it definitely makes me reflect back for my next prep. And, I need to evaluate and I need to prioritize myself and stop putting everybody else first, which is what I kind of tend to do is I put myself on the back burner and I try to take care of everybody and everything else, and then I give myself what's left. So definitely a note for the future prep that I'm going to be doing. I'll do more on that at another time. But that's just kind of a general reflection of the show. I'm not going to really post too many pictures or video of the show itself just because I wasn't happy with my look on stage as I started filling up with water. Maybe in the future, but right now I'm not necessarily comfortable with that. So just wanted to kind of give a general overview of the show, my prep, how I think I did. So yeah, that's it. This last week's been a little interesting. It's hard to come back to reality and start your life back up. Work, nothing waits. It all waits for you to come back and finish what you started. That's horrible, don't include that. But this week's been pretty rough post-show. Coming back to Colorado from Vegas, my body was holding water, and of course with all the food that I ate, I think Sunday I must have eaten 10,000+ calories. I ate whatever I wanted. Coming back to Colorado, carbing up as much as I was, drinking as much fluid as I was holding so much water. My joints were swollen. I looked like I was holding water, which I really was holding a lot of water. And then this past week, I was more lenient with the food and everything. I just kind of let myself have what I wanted. I told myself that I was going to reverse diet. Reverse dieting is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You kind of go to your post or your pre-show protocol, calories, cardio, and then you slowly start taking away cardio and you slowly start adding more carbs and fats to your diet. My protein was pretty high, so I'm not too worried about that. I told myself I was going to reverse. I had a plan and everything, but it gets hard because, you're so deprived for so long that you just kind of want to give in to everything. So I tried to allow myself to eat what I wanted in moderation. There were a couple days where I went a little overboard, I think, but overall, I'm not too mad at myself. It's hard because, everybody wants to buy you the food that they couldn't buy you in prep. They want to bring you food. So the food aspect is really hard for me. I love food. I love eating. So sometimes I kind of lose that self-control and I go all in. So just slowly starting to get back into my diet before I was cutting so hard. I'm probably going to be back to my diet protocol that I was at about 3 months out, adding the carbs back, lower my cardio. So now I'm only at like 30 minutes and I'm going to kind of maintain it there. But it's kind of hard when you see your body going from what you looked like for the show back to kind of what you normally look like. I think a lot of competitors deal with that. Sometimes they call it the post-show blues. But overall, I'm pretty happy. A little bit uncomfortable in my skin, trying to get back to feeling comfortable in how I look, but overall, not too bad.